Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, so first impressions of the Indian Scout Bobber. Just taking it for a quick ride there, killed a couple flies already. In this red, that is beautiful. Smoke, I don't know what it is, smoked cherry red. It's got a bit of glistening to it and all that kind of stuff. Oh, okay, this bike is a workout. I'm actually out of breath from riding this one here. The revs go up so much higher than the Harley Davidsons I've been riding. So this one, I think I got to 7,500 revs. I hit the rev limiter on that last bit, I think. But it wasn't like you didn't die from losing power too fast or anything like that, so that was quite good. I love the look of the engine here. Oh. Back brake's good, front brake's good, wing mirrors, can't say even looked at them. Well, I did, I saw the bikers behind me. This one seems to have moved while I was riding due to the speed or something. So, good things, engine, wow. Speed, wow. The way it builds up that power, the way, so effectively it's going so fast that while I'm accelerating, I can't get my hand to my clutch to change gear fast enough, because it's just absolutely hooning it here. In terms, like, it looks like it had a little bit of a nick on the radiator guard, and that, yeah, that's a bit of plastic that protects the radiator there. I like the black wheels. Oh, it's just that paint job, and it's just the exhaust. Obviously, that's just the standard exhaust that comes with the bike there. The view from the rider's position is just cool, but the one thing I would say is that it is very bent over. So I'm 181 centimeters, 5'11", or 6 foot from wearing boots. And it does feel like this seat is pretty hard, not huge. Again, I'm coming from a Kawasaki 1500 with a massive seat, and with the Harleys I've been riding, very different seat kind of style. But you're so low down. The foot forward position was good, like my foot's not curved in too much, happily using the front brake very easily there. No heat from the exhaust that I'm feeling like when I was on the Fat Bob, so there's definitely a temperature difference going on here. And gear changes, very nice, good clunks in the gear changes here, and also the slow maneuvers doing the U-turn here, piece of cake using the rear brake, dragging the rear brake. So let's give it another turn on and let's ride back. So from here on, I'll be doing some voiceover of my experience of my first ever ride on a test ride of the Indian Scout Bobber. So this is from Saltire Motorcycles in Edinburgh, and they let me take it out for an hour's ride, and they said go have some fun with it. There's obviously disclaimers that you'll have to pay for and all that kind of stuff. Well, you don't have to pay for it, but if you crash it, you have to pay for it and all that stuff. But yeah, for me, this bike just looks beautiful. At the end, I'll show you another bike which is the same as Indian Scout Rogue, which has a more comfortable seat, more comfortable handlebars. But I think this one just looks so good that I wouldn't actually want to change it, especially in this red. Ooh. Okay, so let's hear my saddle first experiences on this bike. From riding the bike, looks a bit like that. And that because the kickstand's still down. Yep. Good. So turns off for the kickstand. Wing mirrors looking good. There. There. Rear brake. So again, coming from a Harley perspective, wow, it is much more of a clamshell position I'm in.
coming from a Harley perspective, I was aware that I needed to rev the engine a little bit more.
Definitely feeling bent over more, so I think the higher up handlebars may be more helpful.
But it's also so much more free revving.
It is very low, and the feet do feel very high up.
So that when you do rev it, it does rev a lot higher, faster.
Oh, right. Get out of Edinburgh. Do my usual route. Over the bump. Okay, let's get this here. Smooth, very smooth. Oh, that engine feels great. Second gear, 2000 revs. Okay, that's quarter throttle. Wow, that engine. Really holding on to the handlebars.
Yeah, definitely it feels fast, it feels light, it feels so flickable in all these corners here. It really encouraged me, possibly badly, encouraged me to go faster and really push it. This bike made me want to push harder. So I've got the Harleys passing me on the right, and I was just thinking I could absolutely smoke these guys with this bike. Even at just like half throttle, this bike just pulls so hard. I think it's 96 horsepower or something. And those guys are obviously far more professional riders than myself. But I think I see a fat boy in my rear view mirror here that overtakes me in a second, and it then becomes game on. And I was like, I'm totally in this little bike going to be chasing the fat boy. But yeah, just really straight away inspired with confidence of how planted this bike is. So I think that's the best way to describe it. How planted it is, how much it encourages you to just keep holding that throttle fully open so that you can absolutely tear away at the lights. And as I think I'd say later on, it feels like a VTEC engine in a car, where it just feels like it just builds up more and more power as the longer you have open. So there's the fat boy. That rider was a very confident rider in front of me, and I tried to keep up with them, but either confident or more dangerous, their ability to weave in and out of the traffic was far more advanced than mine. So here we have little... he's definitely seen me, I've definitely seen him, he knows I'm chasing him. But here it's a great example of the acceleration you get even at good speed. So if you're already doing 40 miles an hour, once you hit a more open road, just how quickly you can absolutely overtake cars with safety. So that's the thing, it gives you that feeling of safety when you absolutely pull the throttle on. Just there and then back in for, just, what was it, 1.5 seconds to get past a car. And then here, after this white car coming past, get ready. I see the Harley guy in front of me, he pulls out, he obviously knows the road's clear, so I'm like, I'll do the same as him. So yeah, at one point I'd say that guy really has some balls. Some of the driving that he's doing. Yeah, definitely couldn't keep up with him. So he'd gone a good bit ahead of me here, and I was like, right, I'm going to catch up now because it's just an open road, see what's going on. And definitely this bike is hard. That seat is very hard, but it's still a smooth ride. So I think the suspension's good, but the rear suspension is obviously quite minimal. So if there's any big bumps, you definitely feel that very quickly. And again, that's where a more comfortable seat or the performance shock absorbers you can get may have a big impact on the ride. But after a day or two since doing this ride, the one thing I just keep thinking to myself is that this bike just looks so good in its natural form, in the way it's been designed. It's absolutely stunning. That making it more useful ruins it doesn't necessarily ruin its look, but it detracts from its amazing looks. So for me, this bike would definitely be one if I lived in the city and I wasn't doing any long rides, I wasn't hitting any massive potholes, which unfortunately in the UK is every city, then I would buy this raw. This is, for me, this is definitely a second bike. If I already had a bike, I would get this as a second bike with no changes to it whatsoever. And just trying to get a hold of the clutch for that gear change when it's at full pelt is actually difficult. So my wrists were pretty tired from this, because I'm literally holding onto the handlebars and then trying to reach for the brakes. But it definitely was fun. It was a super fun ride. But yeah, this would be a second bike, and I would have another bike for actual doing rides, but this is for just for a sunny day out, hooning it around or going into town, and just having a little laugh around town. It would be so much fun. So yeah, definite a second bike purchase, not a long journey, that's for sure. So anyway, here is where I get to the part which was at the start of the video, and I have my kind of thing. So we'll just pass over that bit in a minute.
Can I find first? Nope. Can I find neutral? Whoa, I can! Where's the kickstand? There. Ah! Wow! Wow, 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 wow. Okay, so first impressions. Raves, nice and low at 1100 RPM. Right, sticking you back on. I think that should probably be a good enough position. But yeah, so obviously if I'm in, if I go into first with the kickstand down, it turns itself off. Right, into first. Nope, that's me in neutral. That's me in first now. Revving. Yeah, it doesn't need a better exhaust for this, that's for sure. But we'll just wait for this van to go past. Sort out the wing mirrors. There, now I can see. Okay. But yeah, in terms there's a huge amount of me standing up once it's actually going. Anyway, I need to go because I'm sweating in this heat. Right, turn left, right, all good. And up we go. Into second. Very, very smooth. Right, helmet down. The visor open. Actually, maybe no visor, the amount of bugs I'm probably going to kill. Right, here. Steady, steady, let's go! Take a left here. Yeah, road good. So the question is, does it make me feel special? Don't know yet, don't know yet. It feels cool, and I think once you've got the exhaust it feels special.
So that's definitely one thing I've been thinking about ever since I rode it, is does it make me feel special? So whenever I rode the Fat Boy, that definitely made me feel special. The Sport Glide made me also feel special. The Fat Bob made me feel aggressive. This one made me feel... It did make me feel aggressive. It did make me feel cool. Maybe not so much special, so tiny little differences there. This one made me feel cool.
Not had any rear wheel spinning up or skidding or anything like that, so all been good there.
And I think this is a bike I definitely want other people to see me on, rather than just be by myself with. So in other words, oddly, this is almost more of a poser's bike for me than a Harley, because I just think it looks so good. I want other people to see it, especially in this colour. Part of the specialness, I think, is also due to on the Harleys is the chrome, is the instrument dials, the handlebars, all that kind of stuff. With this, with it just being that analog dial in the middle with a bit digital, the black handlebars, the red, it feels cooler but possibly less special, so a little bit of a difference there going on. Like the extra special means that, you know, with the Harley you've got more buttons and stuff like that, and the fairing. This one made me want to go faster and faster and faster, which I think for me is possibly dangerous. I need my driving license for work, for life, for money. So I think this one would probably get me into trouble.
Right, into neutral. Wow, it feels like a VTEC, the way it just builds on that extra speed once you hit past like 4,000 or 5,000 revs. That's mental. But I'm literally holding on to this for that. That's cool. Okay, into first. I don't know where I'm going. Left. Yeah. Okay, let's go.
So I'll leave this a little bit before I put the final video bits at the end. So coming back to the dealership, it was a case of I was very confident with its maneuverability, its power, its speed was fantastic, its engine smoothness was great, the brakes were great, the colour was great, it's a beautiful bike, the seat was incredibly uncomfortable, very much only for short rides. Its low down stance was unique. Its clamshell body shape it made me have was possibly not the most comfortable for sort of long journeys, but for nipping in and out of town, it just felt so cool. So 100% coolness is the Indian Scout Bobber. The one I'll show you here in a second is the Indian Scout. It's the same thing, but it's the Rogue. You can hear it all cooling down here. So again, it needs a better exhaust. First thing, new slip-ons. This Rogue over here has Vance and Hines exhaust.
With these higher up handlebars.
Definitely more comfortable.
And the slightly more supportive seat.
Much more comfortable.
Would be the one
to actually
go for. Oh, my tailbone. Oh, that feels far more comfortable. This feels definitely more comfortable. That might be the next one to try.
So I'll leave it there, and yeah, absolutely love the bike. The end.